Turn your life around for the final bell. It's now or never, you have to change well. It's now or never, you must change well. Hello and welcome to an extra special episode of the Change Well podcast. It's extra special for two things. It is the Thanksgiving episode and also the first episode of season 2. We're going to focus on Thanksgiving, and I know a lot of you have some trepidation about upcoming Thanksgiving. You're worried you're going to put on a few pounds. So today we're going to talk about, and we even have a song, believe it or not, on 5 items that you can do that will allow you to keep your Thanksgiving feast under control. So instead of putting on 5 pounds, maybe you'll put on 1 or maybe not put on any weight. The key thing is Thanksgiving is a time to let loose, eat some food, have family and friends, but not to go overboard. So we're going to give you some tips and tricks. To start off, the first one actually has a song behind it. So the first thing I want to tell you is before you start eating Thanksgiving, you got to exercise to burn and earn. One of my annual traditions for Thanksgiving is to work out before any Thanksgiving feast. In recent years, my favorite thing is the Peloton turkey burn. I love it. But I will be on the Peloton turkey burn at 9 a.m. Central tomorrow. Now, the key thing is before you go and eat, the best thing is to earn some calories, burn them somehow. And, I'm no Adam Sandler, but I'm pretty good at making poems and songs. And I actually came up with one. I'm actually also going to give you the link to see it on our Wellness Leadership LLC Instagram site. And it goes like this. Turkey burn, all those calories you need to earn. Ride your bike for about an hour, then hurry up and take a shower. So you're cleaned up and look like a winner when you eat your Thanksgiving dinner. Turkey burn, all those calories you need to earn. When you're done, you can take a brief rest. Sit around a while and talk to your guest. Then it's time to get back on your feet. Take a nice walk, don't eat another treat. Turkey burn, all those calories you need to earn. Now it's time to help others out so you don't look like a lazy lout. Wash the dishes before the big game. With these tips you won't be lame this Thanksgiving Day. So that's the little tune. And believe it or not, you can burn a few calories washing dishes. So don't leave it to somebody else. Lend a hand and do some work after you have your Thanksgiving dinner. That's a way to burn calories if you're not going to ride Peloton. The other thing I suggest is to take, as you heard in the song, is to take a walk after you properly digest your food. And that will allow it to settle and also burn a few more calories. The second thing you should do to make sure your weight is under control is to track before you attack. You never go into battle, whether it's a war or a project, or in this case, Thanksgiving, without a plan. And the best thing to do is to plan what you're going to eat and to track it ahead of time so that you now have a responsibility of it in your mind what you're going to eat, and you're not just going to mindlessly eat something. The other good thing to do is take a plate and measure out portions on the plate. This portion I'm going to have a half a cup. This portion I'm going to have a full cup of turkey. And measure it out before you eat. You may look a little weird. You're going to have a measured out plate that you sit on top of your nice china or whatever. But at least you'll know what you're eating ahead of time. And you will tend not to go over for an extra portion. You need to track no matter how painful it is, track in whatever app you have, or even if it's on paper, everything that you eat. And the reason I'm saying that is it gives you an idea of, and it sets you with a habit of how to track and how to make sure that you're not overeating and you're not eating mindless calories. It takes a little bit of time to track. So therefore, you'll know that, hey, I'm tracking this, and you won't be eating. You won't have things in your mouth. So that's the second thing, is to track before you attack. Now, the third thing may sound a little counterintuitive during Thanksgiving, is make sure that you're grazing before the meal. This sounds a bit counterintuitive, but in reality, it makes a lot of sense. If you're filling up on vegetables and hydrating yourself with water, not the high calorie stuff like another glass of wine or beer, then you'll have less room for the turkey, the stuffing, the sweet potato pie with marshmallows, and all of the other things that you want. Now, this is an old trick that I use when I was traveling a lot. I talked about it in another podcast. I would go to the concierge lounge and fill up on vegetables before dinner, and therefore I would have a smaller dinner. Now, when I say graze, that means graze on healthy things like carrots, celery sticks without the cream cheese in them, olives. I hate olives. My wife loves them, but things like that. And therefore, you're not so hungry when the dinner comes that you're overeating the portions that you already planned out. The next thing is, Thanksgiving is not about the food. It's about family and friends. So change the focus of Thanksgiving to your family and friends and the conversations you'll have. Thanksgiving is a time to catch up with people and tell them how much you love them. Make memories instead of eating too many marshmallows with your sweet potato pie. Instead, you can't eat if you're talking. At least you can't do it if you have manners. So focus on the fellowship, slow down, eat more slowly, talk more. It will allow your food to digest even more also. Now, I want to give you an example of what I remember about Thanksgiving. I don't remember about the turkey or the dressing. Or maybe one time I remember about the turkey. My dad tried to cook turkey in peanut oil or something. It was undercooked, and it actually caused the early birth of our third child from food poisoning. But that's a distraction. But let me talk about one of the most famous memories I've ever had on Thanksgiving. One of my most memorable Thanksgiving memories was the Dallas-Washington game of 1974. Yeah, I'm dating myself. We were sitting in our home in New Jersey after Thanksgiving dinner. My dad, Big D, a transplanted Texan from Dallas, hence Big D, was sitting in his easy chair, distraught. Now me, I was always anxious, so I was already burning off the calories. I'm pacing back and forth. I don't know if we're going to win this game. And another crucial thing you need to know is my great Uncle John, who had recently turned 80, was there with us. Now, my dad and I were up in arms and my brothers, because the Cowboys were down 16-3 late in the third quarter. And Roger Staubach, the Hall of Fame quarterback, and, even though he's a Navy guy, I love him. Even though I'm West Point, I love Roger Staubach, was knocked out of the game. The Cowboys had to win the game to get into the playoffs. And in walks this untested rookie called Clint Longley. From that date on, he was known as the Mad Bomber. He drove the Cowboys down the field twice and got them within 7 points with only 28 seconds remaining. But the Mad Bomber was not done, and what happened next changed the course of the game and made a memorable Thanksgiving in more ways than one. Clint reared back and threw a 70-yard pass to wide open Drew Pearson. It was so wide open because no one thought that this rookie Mad Bomber could throw 40 yards, let alone 70. The touchdown changed the trajectory of the game and made for a hilarious and exciting Thanksgiving. Big D, a crazy Cowboy fan, jumped up in the air and said, "Hee-haw," with his fist raised high. And inadvertently, he smashed our Longhorn lamp that was hanging from the ceiling. This sent glass flying around, and the Longhorns, yes, the Bevo-type Longhorns were on our chandelier. They came crashing down to the ground. This, of course, promptly woke up my 80-year-old Uncle John, great Uncle John, from his turkey-induced sleep and scared him. So much so that my Aunt Marie had to take him home. Next, my dad grabbed me and tilted me in the air as we jumped up and down victoriously. What a memory. I can't remember what kind of stuffing we had the year before, but I can remember that football game, the time I had with my family back in 1974, and what that meant to us, even though that it scared Uncle John, great Uncle John, a little bit. So the last thing, be thankful and think of others. When you're thankful, you'll eat less because you're saying, hey, I've got this feast here. Maybe should slow down a little bit and just be thankful for what it is. Say grace, take the time to understand and cherish what you have. And here are some of the things you have to think about. First, you need to show appreciation to your family and friends who help you daily. No person is an island, and our loved ones help us to accomplish the mission that God has sent and given us. The second thing is be thankful for your vocation. Your vocation gives you exciting, engaging work, and quite frankly, sometimes puts the Thanksgiving dinner on the table. And don't let the work prevent you from eating Thanksgiving. So let's keep that in mind, all you workaholics. The third thing is express thanks for the inheritance that was given to you from those who have led the way, your parents, your grandparents, that showed you what it meant to be a family and what it means to be thankful. And finally, be thankful that you are able to have food on your plate. In that way, you may think a little bit about, maybe I should go out on Thanksgiving morning and maybe help a homeless shelter. Think about that. That's a way that you will focus not more on food, but what the day is truly meant to be, Thanksgiving. And now I'm going to close with a poem. I know I already did a poem, a song already. Better attributes you'll never find than those of being loving and kind, showing God's smile day by day, lightening the load along the way. In this day of thanks and heart, all of us must do our part to spread good thoughts everywhere and to show everyone you really care. So care more, eat less, track more, exercise more, eat less, and by the way, change well. And until next time, change well.